3 of 4 Clichon chiefs in the Northwest Territories are now women. The Clichon communities recently held elections. Doreen Arrowmaker was re-elected as chief in Gamati. Adeline Judas Football ran unopposed in Wekwati. And Behchokǫ elected its first female chief, Bertha Rabesca Zoe. We spoke earlier about her new role and what she hopes to achieve. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your win. What went through your mind when the results came in?
Well, we were waiting all evening and then till about 4 a.m. I would say. I don't remember what time, but it was the sun was starting to get light outside when we got the news, and it was just surreal. It's like your mind goes completely blank and you just don't realize what just happened. Yeah.
Part of that overwhelming reality of what happened is that you're the first female chief of Behchokǫ. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. I've never always considered the first female this, first female that, because when your capacity to lead is there, then you just do what needs to do. You just do what you need to do to get things done, and surround yourself with people that are willing to work with you. And so I've always been a team player, and that so. But it is very significant. I am the first Clichon woman lawyer, and so now this position is very, I guess, a momentous occasion for our nation, because the amount of young ladies I saw in the 3-4 weeks I've been campaigning, and especially on election day and yesterday, was so much that young mothers were bringing their daughters to me to shake my hand and give me hugs, and I think that spoke a lot. They weren't saying congratulations and all that, you're a first woman lawyer, but to bring forth their daughters and to show them that yeah, we could do this.
You mentioned that it's all been so momentous and celebratory, which is the exact right time for it, but there is the task at hand, and I wonder what some of your goals are as chief-elect, and what you're hoping to achieve for the community.
Well, it's so easy for us as leaders to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you put it on your pamphlets and say, I'm going to achieve all of these things. But what I have done, I've learned from previous, when I ran in others, in other capacities, is that you need to talk to the people and sit with them, and sit in their living rooms and in their kitchen and drink tea and have conversations with them about what are their concerns in the community. Behchokǫ is the largest Indigenous community in the Northwest Territories, and we have a population of over 2,000. And so that's a large number of people, and we do have a lot of social issues. And so people have been telling me over and over and over that drugs, addiction, mental health, and drug trafficking is our number one problem. It's affecting a lot of our youth and our young people so much. And even drug addicts in our community are telling me, we need help. And we're doing this because of, all different reasons. And so they're crying out for help. And so our task is very daunting indeed. And I'm ready for the challenge. And so in my discussion with people, in their talk to me, those are the priorities, plus community security is a huge one. It's a huge one, because of the addiction and the alcohol and the drug trafficking, and because we live on a major highway, we're easily accessible down south into Yellowknife, that security is a big problem. And so people don't feel secure, especially in the evenings and at nights and on weekends. And so that was the other thing that was discussed. And of course, housing is a crisis everywhere. And we have we have families with children living in vehicles. We have windows that are boarded up with plywood. And we have homes that can't be fixed because there's no monies for it, especially public housing. And we have a homeless population. We have a shelter home. And so there's lots of housing issues. And a lot of the private homeowners, the house is needs major repairs, foundation, they need new furnaces, they need, like, it's just massive. And so housing is one of the top 3, I would say, that's a huge concern to people.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll find some friends for from the territorial government as well, because that's a huge task that they're also trying to tackle. I want to go back to the security issue at hand, what you were saying about Behchokǫ being right off the highway, being close to Yellowknife, being kind of on the way to the south. Do you have any ideas about how to tackle that security issue?
Well, just your question about GNWT and the housing, we do have, Clichón government does have an MOU with them, and so we're working very closely, and so those are some of the things that we were addressing before, and so I hope we would be able to move on that. So back to your question about the security, their reserves south of us have taken some very drastic measures, road blockades, 24-hour road blockades and that. But Behchokǫ, it's a big challenge because, as you know, you drive into Behchokǫ, you have that access road. We're on a lake. And then you've got Frank Channel, which is part of Behchokǫ, that's easily accessible with waterways and that. And then you got Edzo, which has 2 access points, but there are multiple other access points like the Old Winter Road. And so those are huge logistical challenges. We can't just shut down the community, but we are going to look at, working with the council that were elected, look at multiple options to see what we can do. My thing is that if this is a priority for our people, we need to deal with the addiction issues and everything that comes with it. That do we need to declare a state of emergency? What does that entail? What does that mean? Has it ever been done before? What kind of resources would we be able to access, right? And what kind of capacity do we need? So it comes with multiple questions, but stopping the flow of drugs into our community, does that mean blocking the road, providing 24-hour security, and do research and bring in canine dogs, not just for the access roads, but the post office, because a lot of this stuff gets shipped in as well. And so if it is a huge priority and we need to tackle it and deal with it, then is that what we're going to need to do? And what does that mean in terms of resources? It's going to employ a lot of people for sure, and create a lot of training opportunities. And if it means putting drug dealers on notice that Behchokǫ is going to be off limits, and then so be it. I've heard of stories where you have drug dealers living in communities, in homes of people, selling this stuff, and so we need to stop that immediately. For sure.
Okay. Chief-elect, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. And congratulations.
Thank you. Merci.
Merci.